right? So what is giving CrossFit the CrossFit Inc. The CrossFit Games are the pinnacle of the sport. They claim to crown the fittest person in the world.
Yep.
Is it just the prize money that allows them that?
No.
Is it the people who go there? Like what if next year Matt decides to come back, but he just participates in Wadapalooza and wins Wadapalooza, but doesn't go to the CrossFit Games? Everyone's gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck? Then it's gonna put a kink in the armor of who the fittest, whoever wins the CrossFit Games. It's gonna do something weird to the event, right? I mean, it would do something weird to me. I'd be like, wait, so now we have this guy who was the 5 times champion who came back
Well,
and won Water,
what if Ben Smith beats Justin Medeiros at Rogue this year?
and then doesn't compete at the games?
Well, he didn't compete at the games this year.
He didn't qualify. Yeah.
He tried, but didn't make it.
I mean, the pundits would start speaking. I mean, there would be some, but before that's great. That's good, Brian. Before we go too much further, what makes, like, are we just waiting for someone to come up with bigger prize money? Like, is there a fight for which event is the crown jewel, the one that you want to win?
It's a really good question, and I think you can look at a lot of sport history. Let's say that action happened where somebody tried to stake claim to being the platform where you should test to be the best, which nobody else in the space is doing right now. Like Rogue, Bill and Katie aren't, saying this is the world championship. They're saying we're putting on a really cool showcase and test and giving a lot of prize money. We are at Waza too. Like we have people who win Wadapalooza that don't podium at the games sometimes, right? So that is, yeah. I mean, you've been a part of it so long, you can understand. It's tribal, right? Like it's the link to the affiliate and the system, and the allure of CrossFit is a thing, right? Like I think that, people like look at how people are licensing events globally. Those events are, particularly in other countries and regions, are super successful because they're a CrossFit event. I think there's more opportunity in the United States to be independent and still have success. It's just a different market. Not to say you wouldn't want to be a part of that, but I think the license carries a lot of weight in other markets, a ton of weight. And then, but it's CrossFit's done an incredible job marketing the whole idea of that being the only real test for the fittest. Like, Dave has the formula. That's a really hard thing to ever challenge or fight if you ever wanted to. I don't, I think that like, could I go and say, here, take this scenario. Wadapalooza is $1 million to the winner. 500,000 to second and 250 to third, and for men and women. I don't think unless we decided to like reformat this and make it 15 workouts and try to look and smell and feel like the games, anybody, and then the density of the field, comes, that anybody's going to say that that's, the best of the best. And even in year one, whoever won that event, it still would be like, I don't know. Like I would make the analogy to golf. So golf did this thing called the FedEx Cup. It's what they do now to crown their season Super Bowl champion of golf, really. For the first 3 years, it was like, what are they doing? Like, this is a disaster. Like, they've screwed this whole system up of how they like to find the best. And now I mean, I'm a huge golf fan, but it fits. It's like the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, the World Series, and then it's the FedEx Cup. Like, they made it happen, right?
And that's like, Sevan, just you win 15 million if you win the FedEx Cup. If you win a regular, if you win a regular major in golf, it's like 2 to 3 million.
So if you get your ball in the hole,
I think
you get the 15 mil, better than the other guys. Wow.
Yeah, that's a complex question, Sevan. Like I think it's
Hey, let me follow up with this a little bit, since you brought up Bill and Katie. Do you know Bill Henniger?
I do.
And so I guess I'll go out on a limb here and say I know him too. And
Where is this going?
I would guess that Bill would never say that the Rogue Invitational, it would never come out of his mouth that the Rogue, and I'm just guessing, this is pure speculation from the fact that I know him. It's kind of hard for me to say that. It's a little bit of an exaggeration. That would never come out of his mouth, that the Rogue Invitational crowned the fittest, but he would do it until I could see him doing it until it came out of everyone else's mouth. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I can see Rogue, the kind of man he is, he's going to let his work speak for itself. And the reason why I bring all this up is I'm sure you hear this too. The rumbling is like, hey, there becomes a point where the athletes are like, hey, what can I do that makes me the most money? And I know that sounds shallow. I don't mean to paint the athletes in a shallow way like that. It's actually more eloquent than that. They want the perfect season for them to express their art of participating and becoming the fittest human being alive. And what does it mean to get the right sponsors and to be at the right events and to peak properly? And they're people are exploring that now, right? I mean, you know that probably better than me, right? People are exploring, hey, what would a season look like without me doing the games? Could I still get good sponsors and money and blah, blah, blah?